The SAT results were finally posted, and Chloe told me she had completely messed up, scoring only a 480. I was just getting ready to tell her it would be okay when strange sentences started scrolling across my vision like subtitles in a movie. LOL what? A 480? The female lead is definitely getting into the Ivy League. She is just faking a bad score to see if the male lead will give up his own future to retake the year with her. She won't believe he really loves her unless he passes this final test. In the future, she is going to be the richest woman in the country and take care of him forever. I thought the whole thing was ridiculous and was about to make a joke about the weird text I was seeing. But then Chloe spoke up, her eyes looking puffy and red. Mark, don't send in your college applications. Take a gap year with me so we can study together, okay? The words got stuck in my throat. Chloe's request was exactly what the floating comments had predicted. Say yes, you idiot! The female lead is a genius. If you don't secure your spot with her now, you are going to regret it for the rest of your life. Exactly. She worked so hard pretending to be bad at school this past year just to find someone who would make sacrifices for her and love her for who she is. A girl who didn't get enough affection growing up really needs a partner who is devoted to her. The male lead has done a good job so far. This is the last step. You just have to pass this test. The comments kept scrolling by incredibly fast. I felt a tightness in my chest, like someone was squeezing my heart. The Chloe I knew wasn't a great student, but she tried really hard. She had transferred to our high school for our senior year. We had actually met once before she transferred, and then she ended up sitting at the desk next to mine. It felt like it was meant to be. We got closer every single day. Her basics were pretty bad, so I gave up my own study time to sit there and help her. During so many lunch breaks, I went over the same math problems again and again, the ones she just couldn't seem to get. After staying up late to study with her, I would walk home in the dark just to make sure I had time to rewrite the notes she couldn't keep up with in class. She told me that she wanted to go to the same college as me. Because she said that, I tired myself out completely. I used every bit of energy I had every single day to help her without holding anything back. Little by little, I helped her pull her grades up from a 450 to a 550. I watched her scores go up. Even when my own grades started to drop because I was focusing on her, I never complained once. But now, these pop-up comments were telling me that Chloe was actually an academic superstar and was guaranteed to get into an Ivy League school. They said she had only pretended to struggle to test me. If that was true, what did that make my year of hard work and hope? When she saw that I wasn't saying anything, Chloe started to panic. She stepped closer and grabbed my hand tight. I'm sorry, Mark. You worked so hard helping me, and I still failed the test. But I don't know how I'll get through another year of studying without you. Mark, will you do it with me? She looked like she was about to cry, giving off this vibe like the whole world had left her behind. Seeing her look so sad, I started to feel bad for her even though I didn't want to. Chloe's parents were divorced and had both married other people. And they both treated her like she was just a problem they had to deal with. Because of that, she really was sensitive and needed people to care about her. I felt for her and was willing to do anything for her. Also, the warmth and support she had given me over the past year didn't feel fake. It seemed too rash to throw away everything I knew about her just because of some floating text in the air. My mind started to calm down a little. I took a deep breath and looked at Chloe. Where is your score report? I want to see it. The second I said that, the look on Chloe's face froze solid. What do you mean by that? Her head snapped up, and she sounded hurt. Isn't it enough for you to know I failed? Do you have to see the number with your own eyes just to make me feel worse? The comments started criticizing me again. Why does the male lead need to see her scores? Shouldn't he just trust her no matter what? My heart breaks for the female lead. Her parents split up when she was little, so she feels insecure. She just wants to find one person she can rely on, and he has to go and doubt her. I forced myself to ignore the bright text. I kept looking right at Chloe. If you have decided to retake the year, we need to look at your scores in every subject so we can make a new study plan. I kept my eyes on her, watching for any small change in her face. What's wrong? Is there a reason you can't show me your scores? Chloe's face got dark, and she was breathing a little heavy. Suddenly, she pulled out her phone and tapped the screen angrily. She shoved the phone right in front of my face. Look! Get a good look! Are you happy now? On the screen was a screenshot of the official report. Total score, 480. In that moment, the tight feeling in my chest went away. The score was definitely way too low, considering how well she had done during our final study sessions. But at least it proved the comments were lying. My hard work hadn't been for a liar. I looked up, ready to say something, but Chloe snatched her phone back, her voice cold. I know. My bad scores are embarrassing for you. If you don't want to retake the year with me, then don't force yourself. She yelled the words at me, and acting like she couldn't handle the shame anymore, she pulled the door open and left. Chloe. I was about to run after her to explain when more comments appeared. Haha, the female lead is so smart. She photoshopped a screenshot ahead of time. In reality, she is a protected student. Her scores are so high they aren't even released to the public. She isn't running off because she is sad. She has plans. Her genius friends from the Ivy League summer program are throwing her a party. Too bad for the poor male lead. He is still blaming himself. He deserves it for doubting her. Why didn't he just say yes immediately? A celebration? An Ivy League summer program? A cold feeling shot from my feet all the way to my head. Following the information in the comments, I quietly followed her. Chloe went into a private room at a karaoke place. A few minutes later, I could hear people talking inside. So, Chloe, my brilliant friend, did your little tutor agree to retake the year with you? The guy who spoke was laughing, and he had his arm around Chloe's shoulder. The others called him Travis, and he seemed to know Chloe really well. Chloe just smiled coolly. It wasn't the sweet or fragile look she usually gave me, but an arrogant look that showed she thought she was better than everyone. What's the rush? She leaned back, getting comfortable on the sofa. He put so much time and energy into me, even letting his own grades drop to help me. How could he stand to leave me to study all alone? Just give him a little time. He will come around. Travis laughed quietly. That is hilarious. You really know how to play people. The thought of him working so hard to teach you, thinking he is saving some struggling student, just cracks me up. He has no idea that those hard problems he was stressing out to explain are basically kindergarten work for you, right? Everyone in the room laughed. Chloe seemed to be enjoying it, her tone sounding superior and generous. How else am I supposed to test if he's sincere? He isn't like you guys. He isn't that smart. If he wants to stand next to me, he has to pass a few more tests. Everyone agreed. Someone asked, Chloe, you have been pretending to be bad at school for so long. Are you worried he will get mad when he finds out the truth? Chloe paused for a second, but Travis jumped in quickly. Oh, come on! What is he going to do even if he finds out? With his score barely hitting 600, the second he learns you are going to the Ivy League, he will cling to you like his life depends on it. Get mad? Does he have the right? Does he have the guts? Hearing this, Chloe smiled, looking satisfied. She relaxed back into the sofa. True. He will be too busy being happy to even think about blaming me. Besides, a test is a test, but I am not going to leave him with zero options. On the last day to submit applications, I will make the decision for him. I will pick a decent state school for him right next to my campus. Yeah, that will be convenient for taking care of him. I stood outside the door, my hands clenched so tight my knuckles were white. So, in her eyes, and the eyes of these rich kids, my effort, my honesty, and my future were worthless trash. My entire year of backbreaking work was just another game she had set up. She had been looking down on me, manipulating me, and even planning my future for me. A future where I would live in her shadow, completely under her control. It was funny. It was so funny that my eyes started to burn. Seeing that arrogant look on Chloe's face, I suddenly wanted revenge. I took out my phone. I sent Chloe a text. I have made up my mind. I will retake the year with you. Chloe's phone screen lit up. She looked down at it, and a smug smile instantly appeared on her face. Done! She slapped her phone down on the table. Her friends immediately gathered around. A moment later, they all cheered loudly. Damn! Nice work, Chloe. He even passed that test. His grades might suck, but you can't deny he is loyal. I'm so jealous. Amidst all the jealous talking, Travis ruined the mood. Tisk, what is the point of him saying yes? You can't be sure he will actually do it. Chloe looked at him. What do you mean? If you are going to test him for real. Travis raised an eyebrow. If you have the guts, make him give you his login and password for the college application portal. Then you change the password and lock him out so he can't back out. That, he said with a mocking smile, is how you make it foolproof. That is how you prove whether he can truly pass your test, right? That night, Chloe partied late. I was almost asleep when my phone rang. Mark, I'm downstairs. Can you come down? The late summer air was hot and dry. The moment I got downstairs, she rushed up to me. Mark. She started, her voice low and just a little bit raspy. I had a bad attitude this afternoon. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have gotten mad at you and I shouldn't have just left. It's okay, I get it. Under the moonlight, I smiled at her. It's perfect, actually. I have something for you, too. As she watched, confused, I handed her a folded piece of paper. Chloe took it, looking puzzled. When she saw what was written on it under the streetlight, her eyes got wide. On the paper, in my neat handwriting, was the username and password for the college application portal. Mark, what is this? I know you need to feel secure. I looked her straight in the eye, keeping my voice sincere. So I want to show you with my actions that I am willing to retake the year with you, with no reservations. Chloe gasped. I could see a lot of emotions in her eyes. Surprise, happiness, and the satisfaction of being in control. Are you sure you have thought this through? She asked, her voice tight like she was holding something back. Of course. I took a step closer. Remember what you said. You wanted to go to the same university as me. I believe that if I were the one who failed this time, you would have given up your admission to retake the year with me too, right? Chloe's body went stiff. But under my gaze, she managed to force a smile. Of course. I immediately smiled big. I knew you would stick with me through everything. If you weren't willing, it would just prove you don't love me enough. And in that case, I would have to think about breaking up, you know? The streetlight flickered, lighting up the frozen look on Chloe's face. She opened her mouth but couldn't seem to say anything. I sneered on the inside. Let's just see. After I have agreed to retake the year with you and proven my loyalty, will your acceptance letter to Stanford really become a piece of scrap paper? Can you keep up this act? The comments scrolled fast. Whoa! The male lead just handed over his login info. Did he overhear the conversation at the karaoke bar? So what if he did? Knowing the female lead is a genius headed for the Ivy League is more reason to hang on tight. This is a smart move. Didn't the female lead just want his total devotion? Now his attitude is perfect. Chloe will definitely stick by him. The male lead can just sit back and enjoy life. I'm so jealous of him. Picking the right woman is a life hack. A future of doing nothing is just around the corner. Jealous? I scoffed. Being lied to and manipulated was a blessing. She could have it. In the days that followed, I acted like the most dedicated student. I took practice tests constantly. Chloe asked me to hang out a few times, but I always said no. Since we have decided to retake the year, we have to make every second count. You shouldn't slack off either. Chloe would look at me like she wanted to say something, but then stop. She probably remembered Travis's advice and was determined to finish her test. She told me, "Mark, after the application period ends, I have a surprise for you." But I never expected that before the day of the surprise could arrive, Travis would come looking for me. Travis found me in the school study hall. I was buried in practice problems when a shadow blocked my light. Travis looked me up and down like I was something cheap he wanted to buy. "You are Chloe's little tutor." I closed my workbook and looked at him calmly. I didn't stand up. I didn't say a word. My silence seemed to annoy him. He leaned over, putting his hands on my desk. "Hey, you know you are a complete joke, right? Chloe is way out of your league. She is a genius, guaranteed for Stanford. She was just pretending to be lazy to mess with you." He tilted his head, waiting to see me cry. But I just asked casually, "So what if I know?" The smug look on Travis's face froze. "Wait, that's not the right reaction." He stood up straight, frowning. "In the original story, the male lead isn't supposed to know the truth yet, but you don't seem surprised at all." He suddenly went quiet and looked at me suspiciously. "Could it be you are also bound to the system? You knew all along she is going to be a billionaire?" System? A chill ran down my spine. Thinking of those weird comments floating in the air, my body tensed. "What system?" But Travis didn't answer me. Instead, he suddenly raised his hand and slapped himself hard across the face. At the same time, the pop-up comments exploded. "High alert!" The two-faced rival sees the female lead coming and is about to pretend the male lead hit him to drive a wedge between them. The rival has a system, too. He already knows she is the future richest woman in the country and is trying every trick to steal her. "Hang in there, male lead. No matter how much she sides with the rival, you have to pass this test and believe that she loves you." Just then, Travis stumbled back a few steps. He held his face, tears filling his eyes. Chloe rushed over, caught him, and spun around to glare at me. "Are you crazy? Why did you hit him?" I didn't explain. I just slowly stood up. I raised my hand and smack, landed a solid slap across Chloe's face. "Forget him, I'll hit you too." The air froze. Both of them stared at me, shocked. I had been wondering when I would finally end things with Chloe. My plan was to pretend to pass her test, then leave after exposing the truth. I wanted her to feel regret and hate herself, to suffer the pain of losing real love. I wanted her to know what it felt like to be played, but I never expected Travis to hand-deliver that opportunity so soon. Since that was the case, it was time to perform. "Chloe, why did you lie to me?" My eyes turned red, and my voice shook with anger. "Travis just told me everything. You were never struggling in school. You played the victim, stole my time and energy, all for your ridiculous test." My voice got louder, letting out all the anger I'd buried for days. "What do you take me for? A toy? A tool to prove how charming you are? Who do you think you are?" The shock in Chloe's eyes turned to panic. She tried to grab me, but I pulled away in disgust. "Mark, let me explain," she said fast. "I did lie to you, but it's only because I'm insecure. I was afraid of losing you, and I wasn't going to really make you suffer through a gap year. I already filled out your application for the closest state school to Stanford, see? We can still be together." "A state school?" I laughed, overcome with anger. "I got a score of nearly 600, and you signed me up for a second-tier state school?" "Is there a problem with that?" she said, sounding like she was totally right. "I can give you the best life in the future. You just need to stay by my side and support me. Why bother chasing empty titles and struggling so much? I looked at her like she was a stranger. A cold feeling froze all my anger, leaving only emptiness. Chloe, I said, my voice unnaturally calm. Didn't you say you wanted to go to the same university as me? Which is why you asked me to retake the year with you? I lifted my chin, smiling coldly. Fine. I have already agreed to do it just to be with you. So what about you? Do you dare to give up your admission to Stanford and do this with me? Chloe looked like a cat whose tail had been stepped on. How can you compare the two? Your regular state school acceptance, you can just throw that away. This is Stanford, a top-tier university. It concerns my entire future. Besides, enough. I couldn't listen to her excuses anymore. Since you aren't willing, then it's a shame, Chloe. You failed my test. I took a step back. Go on and be superior with your genius friends. I, Mark, am done playing. With that, I turned and walked away. Mark! Chloe shouted, starting to chase me. However, a hand grabbed her arm. It was Travis. Chloe, don't chase him. If he really loved you, would he let go over a small thing like this? A love that can't withstand a single test isn't worth having. Seeing Chloe still hesitating, he leaned in and whispered, Besides, he made this whole scene and never asked for a new password for the application portal. Don't you get it? It means he already accepted your arrangement. He is just acting tough now, waiting for you to come back and calm him down. Those words stopped Chloe. The panic on her face faded, replaced by arrogance. You're right. He passed even my ultimate test. He will be back sooner or later. 2 days later, the college application system closed. I never asked Chloe for my login information back. It wasn't because I accepted my fate. It was because in those scrolling comments I had caught a crucial piece of information. The female lead is a genius, no doubt. Even though the male lead only went to a state school, with her tutoring he was able to get into Stanford for his master's. Thanks to the female lead's guidance, even at a place like Stanford filled with smart people, the male lead always did well and never dropped out of the top 3 in his class. The comments were praising Chloe, but I had doubts. Chloe tutoring me? If she had that kind of dedication, she wouldn't have sacrificed my future for her test. Also, the comments said that Chloe was busy starting her own company during college. How would she have the time to tutor me for grad school? It didn't make sense. The only logical explanation was that those good grades were never because of Chloe. They were the result of my own ability. This realization hit me hard. Over the past year, how many lunch breaks had I sacrificed? How many late nights? If I hadn't spent so much time on her, I could have gotten a much higher score and gone to a better university. The comments made me realize that maybe I had the ability to get into Stanford all along. I was just being held back by Chloe. So I didn't care what college she had signed me up for. My decision was made. I was going to retake the year. This time I would do it for myself. Chloe obviously misunderstood my silence. After seeing I hadn't changed the application, she got even more smug. She sent me a screenshot confirming the submission with a voice message. It's all settled. With your score, you will definitely get into your first choice. Don't worry, once we are in college, we can see each other every day. I didn't reply. She sent a second message. I'll take you out during the break. We can hang out with my friends from the summer program. You can see what it's like to be around geniuses. This time I refused directly. I don't have time. I am studying for my retake. My phone rang immediately. Chloe sounded amused and a little annoyed. The deadline has passed. Why are you still playing games? You were willing to retake the year for me. I know you can't bear to be far from me. She said it with such certainty. Are you still mad about those tests? I'm sorry. Pretending to be lazy was wrong, but I'm just so insecure. I set up those tests so I could trust you completely. Look at the school I picked for you. It's the best one close to Stanford. Doesn't that prove I want to be with you? I listened to her excuses and felt tired. It was all about her insecurities, her plans. She never asked what I wanted. "Chloe," I interrupted her. "Do you still want to be with me?" "Of course." "Well, I don't." The moment I said that, the comments exploded. Is the male lead insane? He is giving up on a future billionaire? This is definitely him playing hard to get. The rival has a system, and if he steals her, the male lead will have nowhere to cry. Let the rival try. It will make the male lead realize what he lost. He will come back begging. I closed my eyes. They didn't understand. I had never been more clear-headed. "Chloe, let's break up." I thought Chloe wouldn't keep bothering me. I was wrong. She came straight to my prep school, interrupting my studies. "What do you mean, break up?" she asked, her voice low. "It means what it means. There is a limit to joking around." She slammed her hand on my workbook. "Look at me when you are talking." I looked up. "I'm not joking. Now please leave. You already wasted a full year of my time. Please don't waste my life." Waste? Wasted? The words seemed to hurt her. "Are you really planning to retake the year? Mark, with your abilities, what good school do you think you will get into? Stop dreaming." "That is because my previous scores were dragged down by you." "So what?" she blurted out. "Travis has a system. He already predicted that I am the future richest person in the country. You don't need to work so hard. If you stick with me—" "And how do you know you are the future richest person?" I cut her off, mocking her. "Travis said so, and you just believe him?" She looked embarrassed, but then determined. "I didn't believe it at first, but everything he said came true, down to my exact score on every exam. Sometimes I can feel that the whole world revolves around me. It's like I'm the protagonist. You could have been my leading man. But if you break up with me now," her voice dropped, "my success will have nothing to do with you." I looked at her quietly. This girl was delusional. "Your success never had anything to do with me. Be my guest," I said flatly. Chloe's face turned pale. "You don't believe me, do you? Fine. I will prove it to you. Don't regret it then." The comments went wild again. "It's over. The male lead is dead set on breaking up. You will regret leaving her. But actually, I think what the male lead is doing is great. He has his own mind now." "Exactly. Now that Travis spoiled the plot, she has become so arrogant. Does she really think she is the center of the universe?" I feel like the male lead has changed too. I'm excited to see where he ends up. I ignored the text and reopened my workbook. After the breakup, I blocked Chloe on everything. I threw myself into my studies. A 6 a.m. alarm, an 11 p.m. desk lamp. My life was simple. School, library, home. There was no one who needed me to explain basic problems, no one to distract me. My time was finally my own. And I discovered that without Chloe, my efficiency was shockingly high. My life was boring, and the pop-up comments appeared less often. Maybe a male lead without a female lead wasn't worth watching. That helped me focus. Finally, the SAT scores were released again. I sat at my computer, took a deep breath, and entered my ID. The page loaded. 1580. I covered my mouth, tears filling my eyes. That score was enough for Stanford or MIT. The possibility Chloe had dismissed was now real. When the admissions offices called me, the comments came roaring back. Whoa, what did I miss? I blink and suddenly the male lead got into Stanford, case closed. His bad scores last year were purely because she was holding him back. No wonder he did well in the original story. It wasn't her tutoring. He had the talent all along. This is so satisfying. Where are the people who said he'd be nothing without her? I packed my bags and went north. But fate is dramatic. Less than a week after starting classes, I ran into them at the library, Chloe and a smiling Travis. Chloe looked at me, first delighted, then mocking. "What? After a year you finally came to your senses? You came all the way to Stanford just to find me?" She smiled like she had figured me out. Travis added, Little tutor, isn't it a bit late? Chloe and I are about to get our first investment for our startup. As for you showing up now, do you think things can be like before? Chloe shook her head. Too bad. The spot next to me is taken. But if you admit you were wrong, I might give you another chance. The sun was bright. I squinted at the girl I once loved. I couldn't remember why. You are overthinking it. I'm not here for you, I said. Ha, tough guy, Chloe scoffed. Not here for me? Then what are you doing at Stanford? Don't tell me you were just visiting. Or did you actually go to that state school and come here to stage a meeting? Travis chuckled. I said I'm not interested in you, I repeated. I'm here because I got into Stanford this year too. The air froze. Then both of them burst out laughing. You? Get into Stanford? Chloe looked at me like I was a child. You couldn't even tell I was faking it as a slacker? With your intelligence? Mark, a clear voice interrupted. My roommate jogged over. You left your student ID in the dorm. I brought it to you. I took it. Thanks. Chloe's laughter died. She snatched the ID from my hand. Travis leaned in. Printed clearly on it was, Mark Kent, Stanford University School of Artificial Intelligence. Chloe gasped. When she looked at me, the mockery was gone, replaced by shock and regret. Travis panicked. He stepped between us. Since you chose to leave, don't come back. I'm her leading man now. Don't make a fool of yourself. I looked at his jealous face and found it funny. Being Chloe's leading man? That was never my goal. But the comments exploded. Whoa! Major plot twist. In the original story, the one who helped the female lead build her empire was the male lead. Now it's the rival. What is this? The rival has a system. He knows she is the future richest woman. Her startup will probably succeed faster. But the male lead got into Stanford on his own. I suspect in the original he was the secret key to her success. Without him, can she really succeed? The female lead is the boss, but the male lead was the glue. I stared at the text. So in the original story, I wasn't just a freeloader. I was the partner. Why did everyone assume the success was hers? Maybe I was the one who made Chloe successful. After that, the comments wouldn't leave my mind. I started studying economics and management too. I learned fast. Through the comments, I learned that in the original story, Chloe's partners were all Stanford students. Prompted by Travis, she started her company early and found the same partners. But soon, I learned from the comments that their team fell apart. It's all the rival's fault. He spoiled the plot. She is convinced she is going to be a billionaire and thinks her partners are just lucky to be there, so she tests them constantly. It's insane. She faked being sick to test a developer. He couldn't come, so she fired him. In the original story, the male lead managed everything and kept the team together. Now the rival just praises her. The team fell apart. I asked a friend for the contact info of the partners Chloe had driven away. A month later, I had assembled my new team. We identified a gap in the AI app market and started working. A year later, Chloe and Travis had made no progress. Meanwhile, my team launched a huge AI app. Through aggressive marketing, we achieved incredible results. The comments shifted to supporting me. Damn, I was wrong. The real boss was him. In the original, her app took off because of his strategy. Without him, she can't do anything. She was the biggest obstacle in his path. Everything the male lead has now, he earned himself. My business was booming. One day, I was on the phone when I heard a familiar voice. Mark. It was Chloe. She looked fragile. Mark, I saw your app. It's really good. She tried to smile. What do you want? I asked directly. She took a breath. I have thought it through. I love you the most. I was a jerk. I thought you would come back, but I never forgot you. There is no room for anyone else but you. She looked pitiful, but I wasn't moved. Is that so? I don't think I can pass your tests, I sneered. No more, never again, she argued. Mark, it's all in the past, I said calmly. I'm doing very well now, and you should move on. Is it because of Travis? Nothing ever happened between us. Really. It has nothing to do with him, I said. The moment you decided to test my sincerity with lies, it was already over. The last light in her eyes went out. She swayed and retreated into the shadows. Another 2 years passed. By the time I graduated, I was a well-known entrepreneur. The team members who believed in me were rich. Chloe was lost in the crowd, her efforts having failed. The comments said she spent her days blaming Travis. Didn't you say I was the female lead? That Mark would come crawling back? It was all lies! She put Travis through countless tests until he finally screamed at her, I thought you were my ticket to success. You threw away your own luck, and now you blame me? Get lost. With Travis gone, Chloe's journey stopped. She could have found a good job, but she couldn't accept falling from grace. Occasionally, I would spot her watching me from a distance at events, but I no longer cared. My sights were set on the stars, and she was just a speck of dust left behind on the side of the road.